It was a Spike episode.
Oh my god, I like that.
It was
ending.
Ludo
That was
all rolled.
good ending.
There's some spoilers for you right off the bat, but welcome everyone to our review for Twilight 7, the 200th episode of the show. And a heist episode.
Yeah.
Very historic.
So-
It was fantastic.
I gotta tell a really quick story. I've wanted a heist episode for years. Like, it's always been the top of my wish list for this show, and I still can't believe it actually happened. But what did you guys think?
It was
oh my God.
amazing!
It was
Oh my
pretty
god,
good.
like,
Pretty good.
it was getting good at the beginning, but at that ending, the twist, like, oh my god, that was awesome.
It's funny
That was
because
so good.
as
Unexpected.
as I was watching, I was nitpicking, which is what I always do, and I was thinking, oh, this isn't a great plan. Like, why would Zephyr Breeze be put on guard duty? Why this? Why that? And of course, at the end, it's revealed it's all part of Spike's plan, which just blew my mind.
Yeah, that was amazing.
And Luda
Oh my
helped.
God.
That was
behind the scenes.
amazing.
It
Yeah.
really was.
That was awesome.
It
really good setup.
was. And some of the references in this episode were spot on. Even
The music, I love the music.
Oh, the music
too.
was fantastic.
It's all very spy-like and heist-like. Yeah.
I gotta make
Yeah.
a point. Pinkie Pie said it, wearing the astronaut helmet and going through space. It reminded me of Pink Side of the Moon from Forever Free Bird. I don't know how, but
I literally thought the same thing.
I thought the same thing too.
So, first of all, two quick things I want to note in the screenshot on screen. The stories were done by the voice actresses. So that's unprecedented. That's interesting. I think the behind the scenes said they got them all on a call or a meeting or something, and they all contributed ideas, and it came out really well. We were making jokes about what the voice actresses would want to do, like that would ruin the episode, but no, I don't think anything ruined it.
Wow.
I don't think so.
I think it carried on the light from the original idea of what the fans' perspective was.
Yeah. So, all right. Again, this is the first screenshot where I got to point out Luna's skepticism, and I want to point out, I have to go on record that I saw this coming a mile away. I knew Luna. I knew Luna was something to do with this episode.
Yeah.
just from this very first screenshot.
I did
so
not notice
good.
it. Like, that's amazing.
It reminds me of when the Mystery on Friendship Express was in the promos. Everyone noticed Rarity was missing an eyelash, and that was the big reveal too. Also, this episode had a ton of great faces. I think the better the faces, the higher the budget of the episode or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Again, here's Luna. This was actually where I noticed the most. Like this.
Pudding forever. Her face.
Oh my god. It's like there's gonna be so many memes out of this 200 episode.
Yeah.
I can already see it coming.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta say though, and this isn't a criticism, it didn't feel like a 200th episode. It just felt like a really good normal episode, and I think that's to its credit.
I'd say. Yeah, I think that's like the one thing I would say about this. Like, it doesn't feel like a very.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that though. I didn't want another crazy episode 100. One was enough for the show, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100
I
was-
agree.
100 was really cool, and this was also cool, but just in a different.
Yeah, this was fantastic.
Yeah.
I do have one major complaint. I think you all know what's coming. There was no Derpy.
I was
No
like gonna say.
Derpy!
To be
I was
fair
gonna say,
though, to be
he's
fair
like
though,
got that
to
one
be fair.
complaint that there's no derby.
0 out of 10,
Just,
worst
like,
episode.
unsubscribe. -1 out of 10.
And yeah, as Legit brings up
You
in the
guys-
chat, a major development was with Spike and how he always felt left out. Like, it was actually perfectly designed how it happened in threes. First, we have him telling, who was it, Rarity, he felt left out as a kid or whatever. And then Twilight rejects a hug from him a little later in the episode.
I was like, wow, what a douchebag.
And then at the very end, of course, it's the big reveal. So again, it works in threes. Like, that's well crafted right there. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I was surprised
Yeah.
though, and feel free to interrupt me if I'm talking too much, but I was surprised though how like the first 3/4 of the episode was set up, and then it's only in the very end it started to pick up speed and get really interesting. I thought that was interesting.
I guess that's how, like, I think a heist episode like that
True.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Um,
It is all about the planning stage, and they actually kind of had multiple
Yeah.
planning stages here when they kind of changed gears there a little bit. That was interesting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the
I
last
actually
one
think
was
this is
tiny.
better than the Friendship Express.
Which was that again?
The I don't know if.
Oh, well,
it's
that was more of a
one
Sherlock
Oh,
Holmes
Mystery.
one, yeah.
Mystery on the Friendship Express. I agree, this one was better in my opinion.
Because even though I saw Luna coming, I didn't call Spike thing. That was a surprise to I think everyone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well,
I
to
love
be
that
honest
the
with you, I
promos
kind of
didn't
felt like
spoil it.
Luna was irritated the whole time for some reason. I really didn't catch up on, but then probably like later on, like I realized that, it's a heist episode. It started rising up on me, but then all of a sudden it was like a big surprise at the end for me.
Well, how did I haven't seen Ocean's 11 or any of the Oceans recently. I wonder if they it was like the person on the inside all along. Did they do that? I forget.
I have no idea.
Yeah. It is fun to see the main six red teaming, like, trying to break into a place. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad they came up with a way to do that, because I think they even said in the behind-the-scenes interview that how do you put them in a heist situation without them being the bad guys, right?
Yeah.
I actually don't have many notes for this episode because I was too busy enjoying it.
Yeah, me too.
It's like one of like the first couple of episodes we've never, I don't know, had much complaint about.
Enigma in the chat
We
said
don't-
they
I
called
don't-
Spike from the beginning, but I didn't see that coming.
Really?
I don't
No.
have anything to complain about this. I'm
No,
gonna give
we
it
don't
a
have to
10.
complain. We can say nice things too.
Well, we can save that for Tootsie. All right, he can complain whenever he wants.
So I do have a couple notes.
Tootsie's
Tootsie's
not here.
I want to point out it's amazing that Rarity was kind of the leader at the beginning, right? And that's supposed to be like break from the norm. I think that's actually a reference because it was Tabitha St. Germain's idea to do a heist episode. So of course Rarity has to lead the heist. I think that's an amazing little tie-in there.
That's nice. One thing that kind of bothered me was how Rarity was able to cast a spell to pull out the bricks. I thought that spells were disabled in that area.
Well, in the premiere I noticed she. Oh no, that's what you mean. No, I think that was just the castle. They weren't in the castle yet.
Oh, they were a different entrance.
Yeah, they were
Okay.
on
Yeah,
the
I think I have a
outside.
screenshot here.
The
They
map
just
does
applied.
work like
They just
But if
applied that
spells
to.
were disabled, how did Lunas float over the crown?
She was already inside. It was just like the outside. We actually saw an animation.
Well, I guess the
floats the stuff
princess
up.
had access to the magic inside, not just anybody else.
No, I
What
think
a
it was just
limited barrier.
penetrating the walls is what it was preventing. I'm pretty sure that was made clear.
I don't know.
Okay, that might.
I had to go and
Like you
analyze
couldn't
it
teleport
before
inside or whatever. Yeah.
Right.
guess.
So then
Can we go to the heist scene really quick where I like the scene where Twilight's just like thinking and just thinking around it. It reminded me of something on the top of my head, but that scene where she's like spinning around thinking that's pretty cool. But the heist scene overall, just planning and making all the faces was just so good.
Also, Fluttershy and Spike as the stealthy laser dancers or whatever. That's definitely an Ocean's reference.
Yeah. And also Applejack's alter ego.
So did that actually happen
First we
then?
had first we had Apple Jewel, now we have Apple Core.
Yeah, lots of Apple. She has lots of. That's kind of funny. She has lots of alter
Apple
egos.
Jew.
Buy some apples.
And the Space
I have a
Pony
question.
mentioned in the chat there was references to past episodes. I was pleasantly surprised by that too.
There was
Really?
there was the mentioning of Castlevania where Fluttershy apparently has claustrophobia.
Well, that was Josh Haber, right?
Well, there was also
probably.
There was also Rarity Investigates.
Yeah.
Great episode.
Oh yeah, Rarity Investigates. Yeah.
I like that
was
recurring
definitely-
theme with her. That's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
It is weird. I see why they did it. It is weird to think of Rainbow being in that. Is seduction the right word? To try to like tempt him away, you know?
Except for Breeze.
yeah, they got a little bit risque with that. Like he was
Such
talking
a
about spooning,
temptress.
and I'm like, this is a kids show.
Well, it is a classic trope in cartoons, after all.
Uh-huh.
But it is funny to put Rainbow in that
Oh, yeah,
position because she's totally not interested.
Yeah, she would never do that.
Yeah.
Fluttershy is wearing her mission outfit from
Yeah.
Magic Duel.
Yeah, that's another reference. I like that a lot.
Oh really?
That was a popular fan thing too. Like there was a bunch of art of that and everything. Everyone loved that.
Huh. Wow.
So there's a
Yeah,
lot
also-
of stuff here.
I also loved
There's like
Rainbow
probably a
Dash.
lot of stuff I missed,
Fashion.
not just noticing. I was like more paying attention to the heist.
Wait,
Yeah,
Jessica, did you say Rainbow
going to
Dash
watch
always
this
dresses
again.
in style or like?
Yeah,
is
that's
that
what
a
I was
reference?
thinking. Like that that little moment of when she's like dressed up in a dress and the hair.
Yeah.
I immediately thought of Megra from Hercules, just like the hair. It just, I was like, wow, they weren't subtle with that reference.
Oh, is it a reference? I didn't even notice.
I think so. I mean, the hair looks very spot on.
Yeah, it might be. That's funny.
Wow.
All right. Did anybody else happen to take notes, or you're like me and you weren't able to because you were too busy enjoying it?
I was too
One
busy
thing I did
enjoying
note
it.
about was when Fluttershy and Spike first went in, Fluttershy could have just grabbed the crown there.
well,
She
wasn't.
was just
Hmm.
she,
No.
she
Yeah,
Well, they
Yeah,
did. They
that
tried.
would-
They walked right up to it and then they fell to the floor.
yeah.
but she has wings, and
I-
so does Spike.
She didn't know
But
about the
also-
floor, I guess.
Fluttershy gets scared.
She gets too
like,
scared.
and so
She gets
her
too
wings
scared.
lock up.
yeah.
But that's what the entire point of the meeting beforehand was about. Like, Twilight explaining all of the traps and stuff to them.
I guess they forgot or she missed it one. I don't know.
Um,
There are some small things like that, but most of the small things like that I would be nitpicking were actually explained in the end. Like, why would you put Zephyr on the guard duty? But that was, of course, Luna's doing, so it all makes sense there. But yeah, I
my
guess.
only minor complaint, maybe for me, it's like not like a huge complaint, but I guess like like how Shining Armor explains like all of the stuff that he goes through, like what the traps are and whatnot.
Yeah. That is like another nitpick plot hole, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
That he shouldn't have even told Twilight about the trap floor.
I know it should have been like all surprised and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like he shouldn't have
That would've
told
been
Twilight
interesting.
about anything, and they should have.
Wait,
found
yeah.
out.
Isn't that like
I
deadly?
think that should have been secret.
What if someone fell through that
Deadly?
and broke a leg? You have to put him down, right?
It's
Aw.
my little pony.
Aw.
Magic.
Ship them off to the glue factory.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Wow.
I do love Fluttershy's outfit. Even
Crazy.
Spike. Wait. Spike has the same outfit now. I just noticed.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah.
That's funny. Why does hold on? But wasn't the secret mission outfit like made last minute, and that's why it's kind of stitched together haphazardly? But why did she make one for Spike in the same style then? Unless he just made that, I don't know. But yeah, like there are a lot of small details like that I really like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I really thought we'd have more to say about this episode, but the problem is we don't have anything to complain about, do we?
Yeah.
They've done a good job.
I mean, thank goodness Tootsie's not here because he would just be like, "This episode could have had more."
Ooh.
Backgrounds.
The backgrounds.
Well, maybe
Why
it's a
is-
good thing he's not here.
All right, we are about due for individual ratings and reviews.
Well, I do have
Draconite.
one thing to
Oh,
add.
go
that's,
ahead.
I think up for discussion.
Yeah.
Right at the end, like Celestia's like face, like once she realized she was trolled,
Oh.
she was so
Oh,
She was
oh
pissed.
yeah.
ticked off. Yeah.
She got mad.
Wait, I gotta find that. Yeah, right here in the screenshot. They're gonna like go fight once they leave the room. It looks like.
Like Starlight Glimmer to come change your key marks again. No.
Yeah. Wow. I wonder like that. I want to see what happens once they leave the room. They're mad.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we know what's gonna happen. They're gonna go Nightmare Moon and then
Yeah.
Blazing Sun and then they're.
Oh my god. Yeah. What's the pony who
So legit points out in the chat that Shining explaining the traps isn't a plot hole. It's more of a test that even if you know the security system beforehand, that you should be able to get around it. I guess. Okay,
That's
that makes
true,
sense.
yeah.
You know. All right, let's go ahead and jump into individual reviews. Draconite, why don't you start us off?
All right, so I don't think there's much else for me to say. Like, for like 2/3 of the episode, I was expecting it to not be that amazing, kind of, and I was honestly blown away by the ending, and like it was, yeah, I enjoyed it. Like Luna being in charge, or Luna and Spike, that was just a huge surprise. Like Little Shy called it. Not too much to say. I would say like a 9 out of 10.
Well, all right, 9 out of 10 from
Ooh,
Draconite.
nice.
So Sonic, you say you have to leave soon, so you want to go ahead and go next?
Yeah, I definitely go and get. I mean,
Go for it.
yeah, I think like what we all said. We have very little complaints about it. It's like I think it was just a joyful ride throughout the whole episode and such. So yeah, I mean I got little no complaints. Like funny moments here and there, like surprise characters coming in. Seth for Breeze, and of course the appearance of Mod Pie, which I thought that was kind of cool. But overall, it was a really good episode. So I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
All right, another 9 from Sonic. Drummer
All right,
Shy.
thank you guys.
Yep, goodbye.
Bye,
All
guys.
right. All right. So, folks, we are not going to get this kind of thing ever again because it was something special. I got to say, this has to be one of the greatest tributes in all of television. With all the, the plot twists and the tributes and just the overall fun of episode 200. Again, this is probably one of the most special things to ever happen on television. This is amazing. I love the episode so much with the next guy. The plot twist of Spike being the main one, just it blew my mind. The references of Pink Side of the Moon were spot on. I loved it. And just overall fun. I have nothing to say about good things about this episode. So Kathy, Tara, and all the voice actors that contribute, just thank you so much. You changed all of our lives. I love this episode. Gonna watch it every time. Hopefully more. I'm gonna give this a solid 10 out of 10. It was excellent.
All right, awesome.
Nice.
A 10 out of 10 from Drummer. Who's next? Hojo, what did you think?
Yo, I can't say any more that Drummer Shy hasn't said, so 10 out of 10.
All right, another 10. Wow. Well, I actually wasn't ready to type that in. Hold on. All right, Jessica, you're next.
Oh my god, we actually made it 200 episodes.
Yep.
Already, this episode, I mean, like you said, it's not like the 100th episode where it's like fan pandering all around, but still, it's still a nice episode to watch. And yeah, like they did mention that this is a love letter to the people, like the cast of the show that worked really hard on being a part of this show for like 9 years. It's amazing. I really liked it. I liked the references. I liked all the references in this episode. I mean, the first half was good, and then as the episode went on, it was just getting like fun. It was okay, but that twist at the ending, like I completely lost my mind. I couldn't believe it, and there were so many questions I had while I was watching the episode. I was like, how did the balloon pop? Why did Zephyr Breeze become a guard? And then it all just made sense. And then at the twist, it just all made sense. All the questions were finally answered. I was worried that they weren't going to answer those questions, but they did, and I'm so happy that they finally did. So yeah, this was a great episode. I enjoyed it, and I really liked it. I would probably give this like an 8 out of 10.
Ooh, that's the lowest one so far. How dare you? No, I'm joking.
Why?
All right, Jessica
Why,
gave it
though?
an 8. I suppose that means it's my turn to wrap things up. I think it goes without saying I definitely enjoyed the episode. I was expecting like an over-the-top episode 100 part 2. And that's not actually what I wanted. I was just expecting it because episode 100 I liked, but it's just crazy. I only need one of those in the entire show in my opinion. So I was actually really pleasantly surprised to see this is just a well-rounded episode. It doesn't try to go too crazy. It's got continuity and references to the past and fan favorites like, Fluttershy's outfit, stuff like that. But it doesn't go over the top. It wasn't trying to be that kind of episode, which I appreciate. And there's so many unexpected things towards the end that in the beginning, like the first 3/4 of the episode, I was worried. How are they going to handle this? It's probably not going to pay off. Because it feels like 3/4 of setup. We get like the... not the flashbacks, but we get like the views of how they see themselves in that situation, how they think it's gonna go, and all the extreme heist music and excitement and all that. And then it's more down to earth, and they just kind of fail. And I thought that was funny. And I really thought it was gonna be a simple fake out where it's like, oh, we're so close, we're gonna get it, and then he steps out from behind the throne and says, nope, we knew you were gonna do this all along. I thought that was the end of the episode. But then that subtly entwined subplot with Spike that was hinted at, which is great, but then it came full force with him actually winning the day in the end. Could we call this like the first ever good Spike episode? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so.
There's a lot to like here. My complaints were, like, as Jessica said, there were a few inconsistencies, which were explained at the very end, which threw me off course, because I was dead set on giving this one a 9 out of 10. But I think all the problems I had, or most of them, actually, yeah, like all of them, were either explained by viewers in the chat, where the whole being explained by Shining Armor was part of the test, knowing how the security system was set up, and still being able to get by and all that is is all part of the test. So I think that makes sense. And again, why would you put Zephyr on guard duty? Why would you do this? And how did the balloon just happen to pop? That sort of thing. And no, it was all explained. So yeah, I guess I have to give this one a 10 out of 10, at least for first impression review. Yeah.
A perfect review.
Of course, that might change over time. But yeah, for now, definitely 10 out of 10. Great episode. All right, let's go ahead and calculate our average.
Awesome.
Oh, the average rating for Little Shy Livestream Reviews, Twilight 7, is a 9.3, which actually gets rounded down to a 9. I know. Jessica, how could you?
Hey, I expressed my opinion.
No, that's fine. Like I said, I might actually lower mine after a second viewing. I usually do change it, but yeah, it was a blast to watch, I think.
It really was.
All right, thank you so much.
Higher on the second viewing.
Yeah, that's true. Usually I do like it more. I appreciate it more after a second viewing. Anyway, thank you so much, everyone, for stopping by. We do these every week for new episodes. We go live as soon as the credits roll to chat about our first impressions, and I hope to see you guys next time. So thanks for stopping by. Goodbye.
Bye.